Hello and welcome back to the Old 62, where I go over characters from before Crisis on Infinite Earths that no longer exist, but they should. They should be brought back, because they're good characters. Today we're going to be talking about Alter Ego, which is basically the brainchild of Jimmy Olsen. I don't know how else to put it. We're going to get into it, and you're going to understand soon. The being known as Alter Ego was an artificially created duplicate of Daily Planet reporter Jimmy Olsen, brought about through the real Olsen's accidental exposure to cosmic radiation. This doppelganger manifested directly from Olsen's own ego, hence the name Alter Ego. It looked exactly like the real Olsen, but it had magnified all of the negative traits in his personality, while submerging the positive ones. As a result, the Alter Ego being was not completely evil, but could do evil things in its efforts to draw adulation to itself. So basically, this cosmic radiation, whereas normally radiation are other things that cause mutations, they just change the character. But in this case, it split Jimmy Olsen into two beings. Some weird stuff right there. The Alter Ego was, at its core, an energy being. Here we go with that again. Super Menace was an energy being. Super Lad was a clone. And now we're talking about another energy being. Formed through a combination of the cosmic radiation and Olsen's subconscious mind. At the time of its creation, Olsen was feeling as if he was overshadowed by the exploits of Superman, and thus the Alter Ego had as its sole desire the drive to humiliate Superman publicly. I guess Jimmy Olsen did take on several heroic roles. They were ultimately short-lived every time, and he actually took on a few villainous roles. But I don't know. I don't see Jimmy Olsen as a hero in the first place. I see him as a sidekick. And so this Alter Ego was basically created because he wanted to be more than a sidekick. I think he should have just proved himself, instead of making a clone that caused problems for all of us. But, I mean, it wasn't his fault. He just got exposed to radiation. To show the world that Olsen was more of a hero. That's why he wanted to humiliate Superman. So yeah, everyone's picking on Superman in this series. Had this motivation been fulfilled, the creature would have more than likely dissolved on its own. That's weird. It's weird that they specified that. Did they specify that in the story, or is it just common knowledge? The Alter Ego could fly, had superhuman strength, and could unleash cosmic radiation blasts from its hands. Additionally, being a creature of pure ego, it was capable of manifesting other powers as needed. Essentially, Alter Ego would have been able to do anything it thought it should be able to do. During the time of its existence, Alter Ego clashed repeatedly with Superman. The being was ultimately destroyed in combat when Superman Is this how Superman dies? I mean, the time period's kind of right, because he appeared in 1985. By the way, this is like right on the border of the time period, because Crisis on Infinite Earths started in 1985. So, around the same time, in the same year. So, did Superman die from this? I don't understand. But Alter Ego has not... He has not resurfaced as of yet. See, I was trying to be epic, but my mouth didn't catch up with my brain. Whether or not it ever will remains open to question. So, powers and abilities. Alter Ego can do anything it thinks it should be able to do without limits. Now, obviously, if they brought Alter Ego back, they would have to limit that quite a bit. But, as always, if you want to know what he looks like, he is the thumbnail, and I think I'm going to link this one, because finding the wiki is a little harder. I couldn't just search Alter Ego comics and it be right there. You can do that with Superlad and Super Menace. You can search Super Menace DC or Super Menace comics and it's really high up on the results. And the same thing for Superlad. But with Superlad, it's a little different. Superlad Earth 11 is usually what shows up first. That's the Jimmy Olsen Superlad, like, rebooted. So basically Superlad 4, but at the same time Superlad 2. I don't know. I don't know what DC's thinking anymore, but if you do find your way to Superlad of Earth 11, you can just click the name Superlad. It's right above the picture, and it'll take you to the disambiguation page, and then you can find Superlad 3, which is the one from the video I did previously. So, this guy, what you have to do is look up Alter Ego Earth 1, and he's the top result. But because, that's just too much. That's too much. I'm gonna have to link it. Yeah, I think it's just the best option. So I'm obviously coming down with something. That's also news. In other news, I'm getting sick. I don't know what is wrong with me. But yeah, I'm gonna link that below so you can check out Alter Ego's wiki, which is basically everything I just read. I read off the powers and the history, and I did mention when he was created as a character, but I didn't actually say. First appearance, Action Comics 570, August 1985, and it doesn't say what his last appearance was. But with characters like these, nobody cares about them, because they're so dated and irrelevant. So, important details often get swept under the rug, and appearances is one of them. Some of them, whoever runs the wiki, Marvel or DC, they remove the entire history and all the quotes and gallery images, like, aside from the one that is there on the wiki. And, like, there's no other versions from other universes, so that's all you have to work with. And the page is literally blank. There's no history, no powers, no anything on some wikis. And we're actually going to run into one of those eventually. So, I'm going to have fun doing that episode. But yeah, I've basically said all there is about this character, but you can go check it out for yourself. I will have it linked below, and I guess there's nothing else to say. I mean, I've just been rambling to rack up time. So, I'll see you in the next one. Who's next? The next guy is one of my favorites, so it's gonna be fun for you guys, I promise. And on that note, I'm just done. I'm so done. I wanted to sleep, and then I remembered I've not done my video yet, so I'm done. Peace.